Hello everybody, welcome back to Wall Street Homestead. This is Andy and Biscuit sitting out on the patio this nice summer morning. Thought I'd do a little catch-up video. Ann's at work. Just do a little catch-up video and then follow it up with some garden tour stuff, since we haven't done much of that this year. But Biscuit's not wanting to sit in my lap very well, so I'll set her down and we'll get started. Thank everybody for coming back. Glad to see you. If you're returning subscribers, if you're new here, we welcome you. Thank you for coming by. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you like what you see, and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when we put up some new videos. And thank you again to all of our returning subscribers who are watching this. Just letting you know we're doing okay. I know we've been kind of scarce on YouTube this summer. Yeah, there's that thing going on that's got everybody in a state of something or other, but it affected us somewhat. As you know, I'm an operator at a natural gas a processing plant, and it affected me some. Considered essential, so I was able to work, and also being an operator, I did not have to telecommunicate. I was able to go into work because I operate the plant physically at the plant. So there, is that. Only thing that really affected on me was that I spend a lot more time out there alone, which normally on my night shifts and my weekend days I'm out there by myself, because the other workers, maintenance and supervisor and technical workers, they only work Monday through Friday. And so they all worked from home, and I was the only one out there, even on my weekday days, which was unusual because it was usually everybody that worked on a weekday day was there, and we would eat lunch together and communicate and converse and discuss and work together on projects and whatnot. So that was kind of strange, going every day not seeing anybody, or if I did see them, it was just very briefly as they ran in to grab something, or they came in the yard to work on something, and we did work together on projects and take necessary precautions. But for the most part, I was out there by myself pretty much on my shifts, except for a shift change. So that was a different thing. Ann's job, she is self-employed, doing house cleaning, and she did not work for a period of about a month, just because she didn't want to be out, and her people she worked for were just concerned, and she just didn't go out and work. But she's now back working her regular schedule and taking necessary precautions. So other than that, it really didn't affect us too much. I mean, yes, we haven't been going different places to do our shopping. We've pretty much narrowed it down to one or two places that we go shopping that we feel we can get in and out without much trouble. I have made a couple of trips to some different places to get things we needed for projects at the house, but and again, took necessary precautions. But other than that, it's just been an extremely busy summer. Not just that, but I mean, not only, I may not have ever told anybody this, but not only do I work that job, I'm also involved with our city government as the small town we are live in, which that being, I am the mayor. So I am the mayor of our small town, have been for about 10 years, and this summer we've been having trouble with our maintenance position, and right now we're without. So I am stepping up, because I've worked with the certified water guys over the years enough I am doing daily checks on the water system and the sewer systems, and basically putting out fires as they arise, and taking care of my regular mayoral duties. But and then with that, we are also in the process of looking into putting in for a grant to upgrade our water system, which the bulk of our water system was installed in 1950, and it's beginning to show its age, and it's got some components in it that are no longer they don't like to have in water systems anymore. So we're looking at possibly trying to get a grant and loans to correct that situation. And that's adding more work and more meetings to my schedule with that, which we have another special meeting come next Monday just for that. So that has added to my workload. And then also that we're added my workload, I'm involved with an organization called Southwest Kansas Antique Engine and Thrasher Association, which I think we did some video on it last year, but we never got it posted. It's a tractor show. We put on a tractor show every year, or we did. And the club has been dying due to lack of interest, some leadership issues, and last year I became president of that organization. And after 55 years, that we came to the hard decision that was going to be our last show, because there was only about 5 of us that were trying to do everything to get that show on every year, plus take care of the grounds, which we have about 10 acres worth of grounds that need to be kept up, and which means a lot of mowing. And it was just, I'm actually was the youngest at 55, I'm 56 now, that was involved in the club. So, and there was a lot of drama and animosity amongst the members, the remaining members. So we decided that last year was going to be our final show, and it was actually one of the better shows we've had for some time. But in the process of that, we were approached by another organization that's in the town that where their show is at. It's not in the town I live in. It's 2 towns over, about 20 miles away. That is big into preserving history in that community, and on the grounds that the show owns is a home that was built in 1906, and it has some beautiful woodwork in it, some beautiful handy craftsmanship in it. And the story behind it is the grounds were donated to the show by the Conkle family, and the old man was part of the show back in the day, and he wanted to make sure that the show always had a place to put on their show. And so he gave it to the show with a 10-year condition, being that they take care of the house and the grounds to the family's discretion, approval, and then they would sign over the property completely. Well, the people that were involved with the show at that time had no interest in the house, and basically showed it by the way it degraded. But they scrambled around in the last 2 years of their 10 years. They did some enough work they got them to sign off, and they completely owned the property and the house. And that house has just sat there and deteriorated over the years, and it's about to the point that if somebody doesn't step up and do something, it's going to be gone. But like I said, it's a home built in 1906. We're thinking it is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, house left standing in this county, if not just that community. So they want to preserve it, and that was part of the agreement and with that family, and some of the heirs to that family have come back and voiced their opinions that they're very unhappy with the way it's been treated and not taken care of that they felt it should have been. So this other organization has a vested interest in saving that house and turning it into a museum, not only for the city of that community, but also for the Thresher Show, which I'm a part of, and for the Conkle family, which has a history in that community. So over the past year, we've had meeting after meeting negotiating out how this was going to work. It upset a lot of people that were involved with the Thresher Show, and they've left, which is fine. They were the ones causing the most trouble, but it's allowed others to come in, and we've got a lot of fresh blood and some new excitement, and it's good. To be honest, we were planning to have a show this year, but with everything that's going on, we made the decision in July. I've been talking to our county health nurse, and we could have gone ahead and had it, but with the unstable environment that we are having in our state over that issue, we chose not to go ahead so that we wouldn't have all this stuff done and then have to shut it down at the last minute. But with the all this new help, the grounds actually looks the best they've looked in years as far as being mowed, which there's about, I think, 10 acres, and most of it is mowed at one point or summer time during the summer, and we've had enough help that it's been kept mowed even with the rain we've had, and it looks the best. Some of the new help has also come in and doing cleanup, and like I said, some new excitement. And we just, in the past, actually last Saturday night, we held a ice cream social on the grounds with live music, and which was actually would have been our annual show date, but it was just for the community. And we had an official signing ceremony for the signing of the mergers between the two organizations. So it is a done deal. We basically are going to slip in under their umbrella of their 501(c), which we did not have. We were incorporated, but we weren't a 501(c), which we will gain some benefits from that as far as donations and potential grants for our Thresher Show, which with a lot of those types of organizations, it comes down to money and the need for money. But like I said, we have a lot of new interest, not only there's a lot of it that's in the house wanting to restore it, but there's a lot in trying to preserve the Thresher Show, because it is a part of that community for the past 55 years. And a lot of the people I've talked to, so they can remember what it was like 20, 30 years ago, which I've only been involved for the last 10 to 15, and I've just seen a steady decline. And part of that, like I said, was just the people that were involved were getting older and getting out or passing away, or just the leadership that was involved was just so negative that it just pulled the whole thing down and ruined it for everybody. So that has also kept me busy with that. And so the garden, I had big plans to get it moved. I did get it moved. I was way behind in the spring. I did expand. One video you saw over the winter, we went and got barrels, and all of those barrels were cut in half. So we more than tripled our number of wicking tubs and tripled the size of our garden. We didn't even expand the whole distance of the backyard that we can, and we probably will over the next year. We did have plans to build a raised bed in one corner, which that never got finished. And I acquired a big box from work that I was going to use as a raised bed, kind of a planter for some flowers and stuff for the pollinators and things to attract the good bugs and good insects and the pollinators, which that is still unfinished at this time. I had some other issues in the garden that I did, with my rushing around, I guess. When I was mixing my soil for my tubs, I got manure from a local farm, and he said it had sat long enough that it shouldn't be hot, but I don't think it quite broke down enough, because a lot of the stuff that I planted in those pots either grew really, really well and didn't produce much fruit because too much nitrogen, or the beans and the peas that I planted in those, they just burned up because it was way too hot in nitrogen. So that affected the output of my garden. And I tried some different things this year, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. I did try my hydroponics, and it worked a lot better last year. I'm going to take you out and show you the garden. I think the hydroponics is about out of water, so it's not looking the best. I need to try and add some, which I've read that I can, but we have gotten cucumbers off of it. We have gotten the things that have done the best, I guess. Our tomatoes made excellent plants, but they made small fruits, or not very many fruits. Excuse me. Same with the peppers, which we'll look at. Though one variety did come around and is putting on a lot of fruit and decent size. So I will show you that here in a little bit. So there, gardening is a learning curve, and like I said, I think I got some manure that was just a little too hot, and especially the way I used it. I still have some, and I'll just leave it and let it set till next year, plus whatever's in the tubs will break down, because I did mix it with some topsoil and some peat moss and some partially decomposed leaves to generate some compost. And I mean, as far as the wicking part, they wick perfectly. I had no issue with that, but with my time, I wasn't able to water as much as I did last year, and I probably should have. So some things got, different watering, and I just didn't have the time, and that happens. I don't want to say life gets in the way, but life gets in the way, and with everything that was going on that I just talked about, plus the big issue, which I feel affected everybody in one way or another. And it didn't affect us much as far as our work, but it affected us, just it being there and it being out there, and a constant, I don't want to call it a threat, but a constant issue that was thrown in your face on a daily basis, and you have to deal with. And you think everybody is affected by that in some form or another, mentally, I mean not physically, but maybe even spiritually or whatever. I mean, we are all affected with it, having to listen to that and deal with it, and it can change and whatever. But I don't want to get into that, so I will come back here in a little bit, and we'll do a garden tour of what's left in the garden, and you can see what we had going on and see the new garden space in a little bit more detail. And with that, we'll go from there. So I'll see you in a little bit.